There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
It's unbelievable here on Declare Your Independence. My microphone, dang it. Let's go this one, bring that down, give me this. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to do the Barry White thing. I wanted to talk about your new book that you're working on now, because it's coming out right at the time that all of this is coming crashing down. You got Dollar Meltdown out in time. That's good. Yeah. We have Atlas Shrugged coming out. There's going to be an awareness. We have people starting to threaten they're going to run for office in 2012 for president. Ron Paul and Rand Paul are in Washington doing their thing and so on. And all of a sudden they're going, Charles, the New York Times bestselling, getting translated all these languages. You know what we're going to do? We're going to pay you to write another book, about freedom. Yeah. Tell us about the book and the process. I know you're tired. You're up late doing that. I really appreciate you coming in.
I'm glad to do it anytime. Well, I thought that the American people ought to at least be informed. The decisions that the American people have been making are making us all more poor. They have led us to destitution's doorstep. It's decisions made by your neighbors, by your friends, your family, yourself perhaps, and people you work with. The decisions that the American people have made are making us more poor. And for those of us that don't agree with those decisions, it's too bad. But, just as we're beneficiaries of things that we're not responsible for, people have created, medical procedures, surgery procedures, made inventions and invented computers and wrote softwares that I'm not responsible for. So I'm the beneficiary of what, my fellow man has done at the time I come into this world. By the same token, if the rest of the American people have decided to make us more poor, then I have to suffer that too. We suffer that. Even if I were, to make nothing but shrewd investments and make a lot of money, we're still more poor. If the country's more poor, if our fellows are more poor, our opportunities are diminished. The world that we live in, the culture around us is diminished. Fewer people are creating new things in a way that's pleasing to us all. So the American people are making decisions that made us more poor. I thought that it ought to be kind of like informed consent. All right, so this is what you're doing. Maybe you should know what those things are. Maybe you should understand how liberty and prosperity go together hand in hand. That prosperity and opportunity are the daughters of liberty. Maybe you ought to know that. And it seems like it stands to reason, and most people should figure it out. If you look at the places where people have been more prosperous on the face of the earth, they're places with more liberty. And places where people are less prosperous, you look at North Korea or South Korea. It's a pretty good example. Same people, same language, same culture, same religions, same natural resources. But if you look at the global satellite view of the Korean Peninsula at night, the South had just an artificial line. No place on the globe are there artificial lines. The world's organic. Lines aren't straight. But all of a sudden, there's a straight line right across the middle of that peninsula. And to the south of that, at night, it's all lit up. The cities and towns have illumination, and people can read and watch TV and go places in cars with lights on and stuff. And the north, it's all dark. Oh, there's a little bit of light in the capital city. The rest of the whole peninsula is black at night. It's totally dark. Same people, right? Same language, same culture, same religion, yada, yada, yada. What's the difference? More free, less free. You would think that the American people would have figured that out. But apparently they haven't, because they keep making decisions to make us less free. And so as a consequence, and their decisions, they support crony capitalism, and they support central economic planning, and they support empowering Washington, and they support, people. They support the regulatory state that you've got people paid by my tax dollars and your tax dollars work for the federal government to go chasing Amish farmers in Pennsylvania for fear somebody somewhere may be drinking organic milk. And so we pay for all of this, and so if the Amish farmer can't drink organic milk, he's less free, and we are more poor, and they go together. These things all fit together. So this is what the American people have done. They've decided that it's okay. Maybe it's the Chinese turn. They can be prosperous and rich now, and we'll be third worlders, and we'll be those poor Americans. And the Chinese mothers will tell their kids, scrape your plate to eat your dinner. Remember, there are children starving in America. So that's where we're going. Their economy's been growing 10% a year after year since like 1980, and our economy, we just keep getting poorer and poorer and poorer in this country.
Starving kids in America.
Yeah, so my book is to say, there's no reason to think that you want to be more prosperous, that Americans want to be more prosperous, but you should at least know that here's kind of how it works. That's the book.
In your last book, you broke it down in the segment, how we got here, some history, some personal perspective, where we are, where we're going, what we should do. Yeah. How are you breaking this one down?
That's good. I'm glad you asked me that. I'm doing the same sort of thing, but the first part is about freedom. Just about freedom, and I talk about the essentials of freedom, and about 3 chapters about different aspects of freedom. And I give good examples of, freedom, not freedom, free, not free. And then the second part of the book is about the state, about government. And it's about all the things that we were just talking about. It's about corporatism and crony capitalism and central planning and all government. It's all about government. So the first part's about, about freedom. Second part's about government. The third part's about the end game. And I'm actually just starting on the third part right now about here are the things that if you were to decide that you wanted to be more prosperous, I'm not you don't have to. It's clear you don't want to be, but if you American people wanted to be more prosperous, you're not going to be able to get there until you solve these last 3 issues. Because until these 3 issues are solved, don't even bother, don't make an attempt. You got a phony monetary system. Needs to go. You have debt, piles of debt for little children unborn. Needs to go. And you've got an American empire all over the world, bombing people here and there and bankrupt us. Needs to go. And until those things are addressed, the monetary system, the government debt, and the cost of the American empire, there's no chance of turning around and restoring American prosperity. We're going to keep kind of descending slowly like we are now. Lesser means, lesser opportunities, lesser prosperity year after year.
Well, how do you see it? Is it just going to crash? Is there
it
going to
is,
be
but
some
you know what? It can crash. It can take 10 years to crash. It is crashing. I mean, to me, it's crashing right now. And when you go to the grocery store, look, I'm not a very good shopper, but my wife tells me, she said, "Oh my gosh, I went to Costco today, and what I used to buy there, this thing, whatever it was, cost $40. Now it's $56. It was $40 last year. It's $56. Do you understand? That's crashing. It's crashing. Now, most people are kind of acclimated. Well, yesterday it was 55, and next week it's 56. So, they're kind of acclimated to it. And they might mutter a little bit when they get in their car after they leave the grocery store about prices and stuff. But it's crashing. And if you had a time-lapse photography, and you could take out, Dancing with the Stars and American Idol in between and, baseball games and kids going to school and just went and put like 3 or 4 years together, people would understand it's collapsing because people used to have jobs. Now they have no jobs. People used to own homes. Now you got 20 million unoccupied homes in this country. You got people, you got home prices still falling and people out of homes. So if you did it in time-lapse photography, you realize, oh my God, it's crashing right before our very eyes.
Well, I remember when we were doing your show and you had them change. We were over at Air America. And they changed the cost of living index.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And they said, as long as you don't eat and as long as you don't use energy or travel anywhere, there's no inflation.
You go to my website right now, charlesgoyette.com. You go to charlesgoyette.com, and about the second item on there is a cartoon. I've got this great cartoonist, Tim Kelly, does custom cartoons for charlesgoyette.com. Yeah, scroll down like probably right below that or right above that. Charles Goyette, there's a great cartoon. You remember when you were growing up and you saw the pictures of the starving children in Africa, and they're sitting there brushing the flies away from their eyes, and they're sitting there on the ground, their distended bellies from not eating? I got a cartoon on my website. You've got to to see it, charlesgoyette.com. And there's Ben Bernanke with one of those little starving children saying, well, if you take out energy and food and clothing, prices really aren't going up that much.
And there we got it on the YouTube right now. Just go to charlesgoyette.com and you'll find a lot of the work that he's continuing to do with the mind that is a benefit to all those that love freedom. And it's going to produce a book that hopefully is at least as popular as The Dollar Meltdown.
Hey, happy birthday, Ernie.
Thank you very much, Charles, and thanks for coming to the party.
Yeah, that was a blast.
You know, we had the daytime people and the nighttime people, and I go, there's a whole other crowd coming. We call them the dark people, and they were like, now, is that a racist thing? I go, no, they just wait till it's dark. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Declare Your Independence. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.